So I went to the flea market today and I scored huge. Let's take a look at this epic haul that I picked up. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video. My name is Matt. This is Patriot Comics. And like I said, I went to the flea market today and I scored some epic pieces. And one item in particular, I paid next to nothing for, and it is worth hundreds of dollars. I couldn't believe it. I actually didn't even know when I first bought it. I didn't realize. And then I got it home. I started researching everything I bought, and I found out that I scored a huge score. I couldn't believe it. I'm super excited. So I ended up getting some video games, some vintage toys, and some comic books, some really cool stuff. I can't wait to show you everything I picked up because it's a pretty big haul. And there's some pretty awesome stuff. All vintage, all retro, all of my favorite stuff to collect, and a couple things to resell as well. So let's take a look at everything I got, and then at the end I'm going to show you this incredible piece that's worth a few $100, and I paid only a few dollars. All right, let's take a look at what I got. So here is the majority of everything I picked up. As you see, there are so many different things. There's vintage toys, there's video games, VHS tapes, comic books, different like memorabilia, really cool stuff. Starting off, I found these at one of the vendors. He had a whole bunch of different collectibles, and I saw these G.I. Joe figures, these 12-inch G.I. Joes. They're still brand new in the packaging. This one's actually, I believe, a JCPenney's exclusive. I think from like 2001 or 2004, around 20 years old. And it was still sealed, and I just had a feeling this was worth a few dollars. He was asking $15, and I picked it up for $15, as well as this other one here, this other sealed G.I. Joe, the Green Beret. These are really cool. I don't particularly collect these, personally, but I just had a feeling that they had some really good value. I know a lot of these boxed 12-inch G.I. Joes are usually worth, a few bucks. I paid $15 a piece, so I got both of them for $30, and then I got home and I looked them up on eBay, and this one sells for around anywhere between $75 to $120 for this one here sealed, and then this one is worth about $75 to $90 sealed. So that is a huge score on just those two, and that's not even the best thing. But I thought these were really cool. And for $30, I can more than triple my money. These are going to go on my eBay store. I'll leave a link down below in the description because I'm going to put a lot of this stuff up for sale, and there'll be some really cool stuff, and I'm going to mark everything at really good deals. So continuing with some of the stuff I'm going to resell, these two items in particularly. So first off, this is the Sprite, like Rainbow Bright little plush doll. It is the Sprite Talk by Twink, Happy Talk Sprites. And this was given at Taco Bell in 1983, made by Hallmark. And these are really collectible. People really love these. I've sold a bunch of these on my eBay store, and they just fly off the shelf. So I figured I picked it up. It was only $3, and I can sell it for around $15 to $20, especially since it has the tag. And then from the same seller, I got this one for $3. This is a Burger King Toy Story Woody doll. It's in the plastic, but the bag is open. And I got this for $3 as well. And these sell for around $12 to $15. So that'll go on the eBay store as well. Next items, I found some Mighty Max, which I love collecting Mighty Max. I have a whole bunch of them in my collection. I just think they're so cool. This was a McDonald's toy, and it doesn't have any like little accessories, but it opens up and there's like a little game or whatever in there with Mighty Max and some little creatures and like this ice creature little play set. So that was really cool. And then this one, which is awesome. This is one of the larger Mighty Max play sets. It's some kind of really cool sea creature. And then they open up like this. It's like a little clamshell. And it's a little play set inside. It's got the little monster, little ice monster, but none of the other little figures in there. But it is super cool. I ended up getting both of these for $10, which I thought was a really good deal because this sells for about $25, and this sells probably around $5 or so. So getting both for $10 was an awesome price. Next up, we have some VHS, some vintage video games, some cool like magazines and books here. First off, I found E.T. on VHS with the green flap, and it is factory sealed. So that was really cool. I got it for only $1. It's sealed, and they sell for around 12 to 15 bucks in this condition sealed. I ended up throwing it in a protective case that holds VHS tapes. So for $1, that was an awesome deal. I also got a couple sealed video games here, 2 of the same ones, Darksiders 2 for PS3. They're both factory sealed. I paid $5 for both of them, so $2.50 a piece, and they sell for around $13 or $14 each. So those will go up on the eBay store. And then I found some really cool vintage games. Here we have Lock and Chase from Intellivision, or for the Intellivision. And this one is actually factory sealed as well. I just love these boxed retro games. I'm just honestly just a big fan of the artwork and just the nostalgia that it brings. I got this for $5. I didn't look this one up yet, but this is going in the PC anyway. I also got a boxed complete Asteroids for Atari. Just a great game. I have an Atari and I play it all the time. So I figured I'd grab it. It has the manual, it has the game, and it has the box, which is in kind of rough shape. But I put it in a protective case and it will look great on display with the rest of my vintage games. And then last video game here is Oblivion, a collector's edition for Xbox 360. This is a double disc set. It has the map. It has the manual. It comes with a collectible coin. This is a really cool piece. It sells for around $25 to $30. I paid $5. Really excited about all the games and VHS. Moving on to some of the cool little like booklets and magazines and stuff here. First off, we have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Greetings from the Sewer postcard book. The outer covers are in pretty rough shape, but the postcards inside are really cool. So they're actual postcards that you could mail out or whatever, but this little book, it's complete. It has all the postcards. Donatello, Statue of Liberty, Ray Fillet, got the brothers with a pizza, the turtles in a jar. I mean, just such cool stuff. Bebop and Rocksteady, Turtles at the Beach, April, Pizza Time, The Blimp, you got Shredder, you got Donnie and Rocksteady. Oh man, these are just so cool. And you got Splinter. And these are all postcards. I've seen this before online, and I've never seen it, out in the wild. So finding this, I think I paid like $2 maybe for it, $2 or $3, which was awesome. Then we got some really cool nostalgic Power Rangers. Here is a Power Rangers book, which I definitely had as a kid. It's just a little book. It's got some color pictures inside as well, somewhere in there. I mean, it's just so nostalgic. I definitely had this when I was a kid. I just think that is so cool. It is from 1994. Love me some Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This is really cool too. The all-new Power Ranger scrapbook. And what does it say here? The including never-before-seen photos of the White Ranger. How awesome is this? Just a bunch of like facts and photos. And I think there was like here's like the toys, the White Tiger Zord and the Thunder Megazord. I mean, how cool is this? I mean, it's a little mix between the TV show and the movie and the toy line. I mean, how awesome. We also got this here, the Titanus Brain Twisters and Mazes. Really cool Power Rangers. Just some like random stuff in there, but it is unused. You know, there's no scribbling inside or anything like that. They're in pretty decent shape. We have the Megazord Mighty Mazes. I just love the artwork on this. Super cool. And I paid like just a few bucks a piece for those. And then I also got a Game Pro, which is awesome. And this one is from, let's see, 1995 December. And this got Donkey Kong 2 on the cover. I just love these vintage GamePro magazines and Nintendo Powers and things like that. So I had to grab that. I found this for just $1 from a standalone vendor. That's the only thing I bought from him. But all these books came from the same vendor that I bought all these action figures from. So before we get to all the figures, there's actually a couple other pieces that I got from this same vendor. These are some like vintage Power Ranger, like just random swag stuff. The Pencil Buddy, it's like a pencil and a little ruler, still on card in the packaging. Here is a pencil and pencil topper. The card is unpunched. It's got Jason the Red Ranger, who was always my favorite Ranger. And then also a Red Ranger eraser, still new in the packaging. These are so cool. I paid just a few dollars a piece for those. Very, very nostalgic and really fun. Moving on to the action figures, but sticking with Power Rangers, I picked up a couple of the flip head Power Rangers. Here we have Tommy the Blue Ranger. He comes with his little weapon there. One accessory, which is cool. We got Zach the Black Ranger. He comes with his axe and his blaster. Really cool. And all the figures are in great condition. We got Tommy the Green Ranger, comes with his blaster, his saber, and half of his shield. Unfortunately, the other half wasn't in there. But awesome, really clean figures here. And we got Jason the Red Ranger with his blaster and his sword. So having the accessories with those is like huge. I never find these with the accessories. And I ended up getting these for, I think, for $3 a piece, which was amazing. Amazing deal. And from that same seller, I ended up getting a whole bunch of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures, all vintage. Most of these have accessories, and there's some really good ones in here. And with all those figures, I actually got this too. The Deluxe Collector's Case, vintage TMNT, holds 20 figures and accessories. I mean, this thing is super cool. It's in kind of rough shape, but I thought it was pretty awesome. And basically, I bundled everything with the seller. I think there were like 33 different items, and I ended up paying around $100 for everything, or I did pay $100. So it's like $3 per item. And there's some incredible stuff in here. And like I said, a lot of these have accessories. So we have the Mutating Rocksteady has one accessory, really cool figure. We got a Samurai Leo with almost all of his accessories. Really, really cool. We have the Transforming Leo, where he transforms into a fire truck. This one does come with an accessory, but then I grabbed another one, and that's what it looks like when it's all transformed into the fire truck. It's just so cool. We have a original Donatello with some accessories. It's a hard head, not a soft head. So, you know, just second release, basically. We have Midship Mikey with a couple accessories. He's got the flag, which is always good to have with this figure. Super cool. We have whatever one this is, Raphael. I forgot what they call that one, with one accessory. We got another Raph with some accessories, the Rock and Roll Raph, or Wacky Action Raph, or whatever that one's called. We have the football player Leo with his footballs. We have the from the movie, the Samurai Donatello with almost all of its accessories. I believe that one is basically complete. I think he's supposed to have a mask. We have Firefighter Donatello with a bunch of accessories. Really cool figure. We got Super Shredder with a bunch of accessories. We got Surfin' Michelangelo complete with all of his surfboard and the little crab and everything. We have the military Donatello or Leonardo with a bunch of accessories. I really like these ones. Also the Raphael with a bunch of accessories. I mean, for $3 a piece, this is like insane. I also grabbed this one. This is Luigi from the Mario movie. I think that was played by John Leguizamo. Kind of funny, pretty cool. But I believe these figures actually have some decent value and collectability. So a whole bunch of vintage Ninja Turtles. I mean, so much cool stuff. And from another seller, I picked up a couple other toys. But at the end, I'm going to show you something that I got in this Ninja Turtle lot that is worth over $200. It's crazy. And I paid $3 for it. But before we get to that, I'm going to show you these because these are super cool. These are called Skeleton Warriors. We have these couple different figures here that I needed for my collection. These are the last two guys that I needed. So now I have the complete collection. This guy here, I forgot what their names are right now. It's also got the little skeleton dog or whatever that is. And then I also got the horse, which is super cool. They don't have like any accessories or anything like that, but I paid $15 for all of this stuff here. And I just think they are so awesome. I love this toy line. So much fun, so much detail, and they're just so creepy and just awesome. So really excited. Only $15 for those. So as for the comic books, there was actually not many vendors at this flea market selling comics. There were like 2 people selling comic books, and then there was one other vendor that had a couple dollar bins of like some Archie stuff and some Casper and Richie Rich and Dennis the Menace and stuff I don't particularly collect. But I did find 2 really cool books in his bin for only $1 a piece. The other vendors that were selling comics just had astronomical pricing, and their books were in bad condition. There was really nothing that great, and they were just so overpriced, so I just couldn't really even look at it. But I did find 2 cool books. First off, we have Ghost Castle, issue number 3. I love me some Bronze Age horror. This one's not in horrible condition. It's got a couple spine ticks, but it's got a great cover with the damsel in distress and all the things flying in the air. Really, really a big fan of this series and any kind of Bronze Age horror, whether it's Marvel, DC, or even Charlton. And speaking of Charlton, I did pick up another Bronze Age horror. This is The Haunted, number 16 from Charlton Comics. Nice little Bronze Age horror with a crazy looking cover. Room for one more. Really, really cool. And this one's in pretty decent condition as well. I mean, it's got a little bit of little issues here and there, but overall, for just $1 book, I think it was a great little pickup. You know, I'll pick this kind of stuff up for $1 all day long. I'm a huge fan of horror and Bronze Age and just anything spooky and creepy and anything with a good cover. So not too bad. 2 comics, $1 a piece. I think that was a pretty good deal. All right, and before we get to the biggest score of the day, this one is pretty awesome as well. I ended up getting a huge lot of retro video game consoles and games. At the flea market, I ended up getting a Nintendo GameCube, which was basically the only console in the kind of retro line that I did not yet have. So they wanted $75. I talked them down to 60. It has all of the wires and, everything that it needs to play. It didn't come with any games, but I have a couple already. But it works great. I plugged it in. I tested it. It's awesome. It's really clean. It has the controller and all the cables, and that was really awesome. So $60 for a GameCube that works really good is actually a great deal. They sell for around $100 to $120. And then finally, from my good friend John the Comic Guy, he gave me a text while I was out flea marketing, and he's like, "Hey man, I came across a whole bunch of retro video game stuff. Do you want it?" And I'm like, "Yes, of course I want it." And I ran over to his house and I got everything that you see here. So there's just so much cool stuff here. First off, there is a Super Nintendo Classic Edition. The little mini console that has like a whole bunch of games built into it. Came with all the power supplies, the HDMI, the controllers, everything you need to plug it in and play. It works great. That was really awesome. Also a NES, original Nintendo Entertainment System. The console, which works perfectly. 2 controllers, all of the cables and wires. Also a zapper, which works perfectly. I already tested it with Duck Hunt on my little tube TV, which I have here. It works perfect. And it came also with, 7 games. We got Excite Bike. We got Zelda, which definitely needs to be cleaned up, but that's a great game. This is one of my favorites. Turtles 2, the arcade. I love playing this game. Also, Mickey Mousecapades and Rampage, which is also an awesome game. And then, of course, Mario 1, 2, and 3, and, of course, Duck Hunt with the Zapper gun. Super cool. I just am so excited about this. And also a Nintendo 64 with 3 controllers, all the power and cables necessary, and 10 games. We have 2 different controllers here that are aftermarket, a blue and a gold. They're really cool. And then an original Nintendo one. And then all these games. We got Banjo-Tooie, Banjo-Kazooie, Mario Kart 64, Super Mario 64, Mario Golf, Zelda with the gold cartridge, Donkey Kong 64 with the yellow cartridge, Perfect Dark, Diddy Kong Racing, and Knockouts Kings 2000. All of this that you see here, John ended up finding this morning at a yard sale. I have no idea what he paid for it, but I'm sure he got a killer deal. And he charged me $100 for everything, which honestly is a insane deal. There's probably around 300, maybe a little more in value right here, but it doesn't even matter because I'm not selling any of this stuff. Maybe a couple of controllers or things that I have doubles of. But all of this is going in the personal collection. I'm super excited. Can't believe I got all of this stuff here for $100. What an epic score. And speaking of epic scores, I can't wait to show you the best thing I found today at the flea market. Let's take a look. All right, well, it might not seem like anything, but this is what they call the Shogun Leonardo from 1994. And this is a super rare action figure. And the best part is that it has almost all of its accessories. It's supposed to come with a staff that has like a blade on the top. That is missing, but it has both the swords. This one's a little bent up, but I can definitely fix that with some warm water and just kind of manipulate it. It has the 2 throwing stars, which is super awesome because those get lost incredibly easily. But this is a special one here. This is the Shogun Leonardo, but this one has the gold armor. And normally, most of the ones made have silver armor, but this one is the gold one. And I'll throw comps up on the screen, but this thing is worth somewhere around $250, possibly a little more or a little less. But this is a huge score. This is an extremely rare figure. It's got all of its pieces, and it's almost 100% complete. It's just missing one of the accessories. It's got the 2 swords, the 2 stars, and the gold armor. If you know anything about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures, you're probably drooling right now because I got this for $3. The best toy score that I've had in a really long time. So can't beat it. I think I did really good at the flea market today. And of course, with my good buddy John, who hooked me up with his incredible yard sale find with all the retro video game stuff. But that was just such an amazing day. So much cool stuff for my personal collection, stuff that's going on my eBay store, and just stuff to show you in a cool video. I really hope you guys enjoyed checking all this stuff out. I know there were only a couple comic books, and there was a lot of toys and a lot of video games, but if you're a nostalgic freak like I am, a nerd and a geek for anything retro and, you know, stuff that we grew up with in the 80s and 90s, I mean, it's just so much fun to see this stuff, especially when you're out at a flea market. But I hope you enjoyed seeing it here on today's video. All right, well, that's going to do it for today. I hope you enjoyed checking out everything that I picked up at the flea market. I think I did really well. I don't normally find crazy stuff every time I go, but today was one for the books. I found some amazing vintage video games, vintage toys, comic books, I mean, some modern video games, and then, of course, that super rare Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle action figure, the gold armored Shogun Leonardo. I could not believe I found it. Paid $3, and it's worth over $200. An amazing, amazing find. I'm just so excited. I'm really happy to share it with all of you. So that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.